Warm up with a few exercise games and face contenders in the American circuit. For the ultimate challenge, play against the best in the World Cup. Jump and block opponents' spikes. Dive to dig a cross-court spike. Or set one up for a smash that only the best players can return. Kaboom. Your super spike blasts your opponent off his feet. X marks the spot so you can track the ball. Pick players with speed, strong defense, or killer offense. Your quick reflexes and competitive spirit complete the team. Play against the computer, by yourself, or challenge a friend. And with the NES Satellite or the NES 4 score, any combination of 1 to 4 can play, even 2 versus 2. Now you can play on sand courts from Daytona to Los Angeles, face off international teams in Hawaii, or challenge the hot Navy team aboard an aircraft carrier. Watch the sand fly. Hear the applause. Soak up the rays. It's Super Spike V-Ball for world-class fun. And this is indeed Super Spike V-Ball, with a longer blurb than any volleyball game needs to have in the history of the world. From our good friends at Technos Japan and Nintendo, released in 1990, known as, in Japanland, U.S. Championship V-Ball, or simply known as a V-Ball, 1998 beach volleyball sports game released for the arcade by Technos Japan Corporation. The arcade version was distributed in North America by Taito. The NES port was published by Nintendo in North America and the PAL region under the title Super Spike V-Ball. The NES version features several key differences from the arcade version. The NES version, the player can now select their teams. Available pairs in single-player mode are George and Murphy, the default well-balanced team. Al and John, powerful but slow players with poor defense skills. Billy and Jimmy, heroes of the Double Dragon game, or Bimmy and Jimmy, I suppose. Defensive players with poor spiking power, and Ed and Michael, fast players with average hitting power. The NES game features a tournament mode against the CPU that can be held alone or with another player, and a competitive mode that allows up to 4 players. Yes, indeed. Several differences between the Japanese version and Western American version. Famicom version features a single tournament mode, which consists of 5 American circuit matches: Daytona, New York, Chicago, Vegas, and Los Angeles, and 3 World Cup matches in Hawaii, and 2 additional matches against the U.S. Navy and a Russian team. Russian volleyball, who'd have thought? Player can adjust the difficulty setting in the option menu in the Famicom version. Additionally, the characters of George and Ed had their partners switched in the Famicom version, with George being partnered with Michael, as in the arcade version, while Ed is partnered with Murphy. The NES version, there are 3 different tournament modes: Exercise, the American Circuit, and World Cup. Exercise mode is just a match against the first team in a crowdless court set on easy difficulty. The American Circuit simply consists of the first 5 teams featured in the Famicom version's tournament mode set to an average difficulty, and the World Cup mode consists of 7 teams in the following order: Japan, Italy, Australia, Mexico, Brazil, the Navy, and the USSR, all set to hard difficulty. The background for the Russian stage was also redrawn to make it look less hostile, with the omission of the tanks in the Famicom version. There is no difficulty setting in the option menu, since the 3 different tournament modes serve as difficulty settings themselves. 4 additional female teams are present in the game, but are inaccessible to the player under normal playing conditions. Using a cheating device, the teams become selectable. Even though they are fully playable in the game, the images representing the female teams in the team selection screen are missing, resulting in garbled graphics being displayed instead. I'm not a huge volleyball fan, ain't gonna lie to you. Game's pretty fun, though. We actually used this for a challenge over at the website not too long ago. And all in all, pretty good little game. And Technos doing their little Technos thing, sneaking in Bimmy and Jimmy there. Kind of like they did in River City Ransom.